Here it comes. Okay, so hello everyone. This is Lou Martin. My YouTube is called Awakened Spirits Network. We're having just too much fun already, and we're just going to keep it going and invite you in on the joy today. I have once again my dear friends Viivika and David. Viivika is living in Spain. Hello, welcome. And David is in Mount Shasta, California. They've both been a huge influence and inspiration in my life for the last year, and things just keep getting more and more exciting. And they are working together. We're going to talk about an upcoming class that is happening next Sunday. Getting the title here. Yeah, can you tell us the title, David and Viivika, what you're teaching next Sunday?
Connecting to the still point, Heart of Gaia.
Brilliant. Thank you. I just lost my place there. Great. Well, please introduce yourselves, and we'll say more about the class and the amazing work that you two are doing. So we'll start with ladies first. Viivika, would you like to say hello and why you're here?
My name is Viivika, and thank you so much, Lou, for having us again. It's such a pleasure to be here with you and with all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
And,
thank you.
I think David can start talking about this class, and I can continue.
Thank you, Viivika, and thank you, Lou. It's always a pleasure to be here, my friend.
Thank you.
It's always a pleasure, whether we're here like this or just to be with you in any way that we are.
Thank you, David.
Obviously, I'm David. And this particular class came through a very, very dear friend of both Viivika and myself, Shaw. Shaw, as you know, came to many of the Freedom from the Known courses that you came to, Lou. And she had a vision recently that reminded her of a journey that she took when she was 3 years old. When she was 3 years old, several dragons, golden dragons, came to her and asked her if she would guide them to the Heart of Gaia, because they knew where the heart was, but they didn't know how to get there. And she did, and she guided them past some, shall we say, some dangerous points that they didn't know how to get around, but she did. And eventually they made it to the Heart of Gaia, and the dragons came because at that time, and realized this was at least 50 plus, maybe 60 plus years ago. At that point, Gaia was not doing very well. And the dragons brought many, many gifts to leave with her heart. And when they embarked upon this journey, Shaw didn't know the full extent of what was going to happen. And so she didn't have a lot with her. All she had was an orange. And so she gave the orange to Gaia. But she also brought a tether, if you will. She brought a line of force from her heart as they journeyed into the center of the earth to Gaia's heart, and she connected there.
Wow.
And she told Gaia, don't worry, there are going to be many, many, many others that will follow, that will come. And that has happened. Things are much different than they were 50, 60 years ago. So this is not a journey about Gaia suffering in the slightest.
Okay.
This is a journey into the still point, the 0 point energy that lies at the very heart of Gaia. And if you think about, or if you feel into what it's like for most people on the world, they expend immense amounts of energy maintaining the illusion, if nothing else to themselves, the illusion of who they are. And that's to the exclusion of who they really are. Most people expend most of their energy creating that illusion of how they're going to project themselves out into the world, how they wish to be perceived by others in the world. From my perspective, God, that's got to be exhausting maintaining something like that rather than just letting go.
Sure.
So connecting with the still point at the heart of Gaia is an opportunity for everybody that's present, even if they're not in the class, for everybody to just stop. And in that moment, let go of everything that is their past, everything, and just sit in the stillness. One may sit there for a while. One may stay there for a while. And eventually, something brand new will come in, and it will be a gift from our Creator. The only word that I have to describe it is grace. And it's the full beginning, at least, of remembering who you are as a soul, and not the illusion of this skin suit that I live in, and Viivika lives in, and that you live in. But that's just the beginning. The real reason why this journey is now available the day before the eclipse. In this eclipse window that we're in, we also have the opportunity to drop everything if we're conscious enough to do and willing to do it. Some are not willing to let go, but the energy to do that is present. So with everybody that is in the class, we will begin to share our presence once we're in that still point, and generate a field large enough to encompass the entire world, the entire globe. And with the intent of making that awareness of presence, of just being still and letting the love that is who our Creator is flow through us as us, and make that field available to everybody on the planet. You must admit the only difficulty that is going on the planet at all in this version is the consciousness of the humans. It's not the animals or the plants or the earth itself, it's the humans.
Sure.
And so this makes available an energy that, if they wish, because it's always a free will choice, that if they wish, they can receive this energy with the intent that we generate, that it begins to soften their hearts. And they begin to, even if it's just a little tiny bit, they begin to remember who they are.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah. Wow. That's incredible. That's amazing.
And through the still way, we're just connecting to the heart of all creation also. So this, when some of in the class start to feel this grace, it's coming from the heart of all creation, and it's help just love us back to unity. And it's it's helped to remember us as love.
Yes.
As everybody, I think, knows already, that this is our very essence.
Beautiful. Yeah.
So
Go ahead, Dave.
remember, Lou, Viivika and I are one soul. We are, the only way to really express it is that we are one being. And Viivika is an incarnation, a fractal incarnation of Divine Mother. And she speaks light directly from the Mother. Over the years, she's done immense work, and I mean immense work, to clear her heart and be able to clear all of the filters that come to us through being an incarnation from our families and our cultures and countries and religions and and the collective itself. She's done that work, and she's restored her original heart tone.
Mm.
So this class will be both spoken and in words, and at the same time spoken in light.
Mm-hmm.
And any one of the things that happens with the two of us, even though we're the same being, language really fails to adequately begin to describe what it's like to be one soul with another. However, anytime we focus on something together, whatever it is, there is a field of unity consciousness that begins to form around us. This is who we are. This is who we are as a single soul. And that unity consciousness, it's pure divine love. And another way of saying that is that it's grace.
Yeah.
And that grace begins to grow. And you know, the biblical concept of when two or more are gathered together, the more people that are gathered together, the larger the energy field, the larger the field of grace that is created. Because it's not our grace. We're not doing anything. This just happens naturally between us. We don't have to do anything. And it's not about us. It's not about us at all.
Yeah.
The grace that is there, that is the grace that is everybody, every single person.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
Since literally we are all one being, and we know it, especially these days, we all know it, then there's no personalities left to be involved with. It just is an energy field that is pure love that all of us are participating in and sharing in.
Yeah. Yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Which has
So one.
Which just offers this vibration that helps to remember. It's because every heart recognizes that, and this heart tones and vibrations that coming through the heart of Divine Mother.
Mm-hmm.
It's directly connecting. It's directly connecting with the heart of everybody. So it's such a deep remembrance that flowing through the heart.
Sure. Beautiful. Yeah, well, I can feel it from both of you. It's always very powerful, you know, and the longer we sit here, the more open, excuse me, truth sneeze, the more open the field becomes. You know, we did our chat here 2 weeks ago before the last class, and, you know, there were 650 hits, which was a great response, you know, on my channel, and people felt all of that. So, you know, I'm just grateful for the opportunity to sit with you both and work with these energies and open up to all of this. You know, it's profoundly powerful. And of course, you know, like yourselves, everywhere I turn at the moment, You know, people are talking about the eclipse, and I feel it is divine timing and great grace that the two of you have come together here. I'd say, you know, over the last several months, becoming more conscious of this oneness and experiencing it and sharing it with us. And that's a whole paradigm shift entirely unto itself, you know. And then we might talk about Viivika's experiences here that we were seeing, if you'd like, before we got on. It's entirely up to you both, especially Viivika. But yeah, it's divine timing that the eclipse a week from today, and the class the Sunday beforehand is inviting us to some huge initiations that we've been preparing for lifetimes to receive. It's powerful. It's huge.
And we are fully inside the window of this eclipse already. And this eclipse is the culmination of the one that happened in 2017 that went from Oregon on the west coast of the U.S. all the way to, I think it was Virginia, but it might have been North Carolina. I'm not positive right now. That was an opening.
Yeah.
And this is the closing. So
yeah,
this is like a completion of an energy cycle of on a cosmic and a galactic level that we are able to step into something absolutely and completely brand new.
Yes. Yes.
And like I feel that we all are connected to this still point, and I'm fading again. and this is really strong magnetic pull from this silent still point or 0 point, how anybody want to call that.
Mm-hmm.
And we all can just release every distortion, everything, every old creation. So it's really powerful. So it's collective, and it's also personal. And this class, what we're offering, everybody can just release, just dissolve everything, every old creation, every distortion within themselves, if they're ready as well. It's really strong magnetic pull, magnetic energy from 0 point right now.
Yeah.
And even though the eclipse is the next day, remember that window is open completely. And this is one of those rare gateway openings that are phenomenal opportunities to be able to walk through. And we will all walk through them together. But just feel for a minute, because it's already open, feel what the moment of absolute totality during the eclipse is. It's a moment of absolute stillness. It's a moment when there is no movement of any kind. And because the light of our sun is hidden from us momentarily, we have an opportunity to enter into a void moment. We have an opportunity to step into the void. In other words, we have the opportunity to jump off the cliff with no hesitation and no fear, and jump into the totality of just being who we are. And who we are has always been, we are all fractals of Source. Not a part of Source, we are all Source. So this is not important just for us here on Earth. There are untold numbers of beings all throughout this universe and other universes that are intensely watching us, present with us, to see what we're going to do. What will we choose? This is an immense moment that is available to all of us. And I cannot describe enough how big this possibility is for all of us.
Yeah.
And especially for those that are still asleep. Right now, just talking about it, my heart is so open and filled with compassion for everybody that is going through any kind of pain or suffering, no matter what is going on. And it's mostly because they don't remember who they are. I spoke earlier of how much energy it takes. It must be exhausting to maintain this illusion of what we project out into the world, rather than just relaxing and letting it go and just being and allowing ourselves to be who we are. Just knowing how much suffering people are going through. And it's all self-imposed. Just because we wake up does not mean that there will not be pain. But it usually means there will not be suffering.
Yeah, good point.
And there's so much suffering going on, and Viivika and I have talked about this extensively recently, and both of us are feeling this immense compassion for everyone on the planet. And that's what Sunday's meditation is about, is making that love that we all know is present and present abundantly for all of us, with all of us, to making that as available as much as possible to everybody, that they can receive it if they wish. They have free will. They don't. Nobody has to receive this. But still, I don't have enough silliness in me to project or to speak about how grace works with a heart that is shut down, or with a heart that is so convinced that it knows what God is, that it's absolutely convinced it knows the truth of what God is, and still is able to do harm to others. So
yes, well, this is the light side of that equation. David, would you mind if I just read a little bit from the beautiful post that you put on the class here, so people can get a deeper idea of what you've shared here so beautifully?
Lou,
be all right?
This is your show.
Yes, it's a pleasure. I'm hosting you at both, and it's a joy. So you say here, in the very heart, in the very center of the heart of Gaia, the place where we connect the deepest. See, this is so beautifully written. I want people to hear this. If we choose to connect with her, is the still point, 0 point. Here in the very center of Gaia's heart, if we choose to surrender, we can connect with that still point, 0 point energy, and let go. And letting go means surrendering everything of who we ever thought, felt, or believed we were, all of our conditioning, programming, and stuck energies from any lifetime. Within that stillness and surrendering to stillness, something miraculous happens. We begin to remember who we are. In stillness, we can surrender completely and let go of everything and just be. This may sound simplistic, unrealistic, and way too simple, yet only to the mind, to the heart which always knows the truth of who we are and always have been. This is a very deep truth, for as it has always been, this is the truth of our being. It is a path that all will walk through into stillness, surrendering everything into it. On our own, this can be daunting to some, especially if one is tightly controlled within their self-image. Yet in this, the moment of great transformation, we are supported in making huge leaps in consciousness, love, and our ascension embodiment. We are all being so deeply supported to make the shift. And finally, you say, as each of us makes this deep, deep connection to stillness, it creates a powerful energy field that becomes available to all of the people here on Earth, the collective. It supports them fully in making their journey into stillness and awakening, even if on the surface they do not appear to be ready. There you go. It's beautiful.
And it's not just that we sometimes connect it with this still point and the 0 point. Our connection deepen and deepen, and we become that. So we start to live from this space of stillness.
Yes.
So sometimes it's such a total stillness that there is no thoughts. And like today, I feel that. So it's really difficult to speak even. So sometimes we just are. We are.
Yes. Yes. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Imagine this, if you will. Remember what it was like when you were a child and you went to a park with your mother or your father or both or whatever, and you went on the swing sets and somebody was pushing you and you got really excited and kept asking them to push you higher and higher and higher. And at one point, when you swing out to the largest point of the arc of your swing, you just let go and allowed yourself to just begin to soar into space, only you never stopped. You never came back to the ground. Eventually you do. But that exhilaration of that moment when gravity seemingly no longer has an effect on you, and you're either floating or you're flying.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, that's what it feels like sometimes.
Yeah.
When you're in the stillness inside of your heart, in that still moment, it's unbelievably free, unbelievably freeing. And in that point, that's where you begin to remember who you are.
Yeah. 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 Beautiful. Yeah. Well, I feel that, and I'm excited to be a part of this. And as you say, there's this building momentum of opening and remembering that we're being invited into, and it's shifting our consciousness and our vibration and our perceptions and everything very quickly. So I feel like we're really, we're so blessed to have these invitations from Spirit to co-create something so powerful and so life-changing together. It's really, really a privilege to have these moments with you both. So thank you for the invitation.
Thank you.
And thank you for the invitation too, Lou. It is always a pleasure and a privilege to be here with you and to share with you.
Sure, my pleasure. Well, we could make this short and sweet today, and you wanted to talk about 2 more classes, or we could talk about the magical disappearing Viivika and give us another half an hour here. It's entirely up to you guys.
Well,
That's a pretty coming attractions.
Now it's happening again.
There you go. Well, see, Spirit must have a vote as well.
Yeah, when we're talking about this void and 0 point, then it's not only that our old creations start to dissolve, we start to emanate so powerfully this light that, as you maybe see right now, my image sometimes.
There she goes.
Yes.
Our body as a holographic projection of our consciousness, it starts to also dissolve, and this light starts to amplify and it's happening right now with me also. So
yes,
she has been doing this for days now, and every time she does it, the camera loses focus because it can't find her. And then when she comes back into her body again, the camera can now find her, and it's able to focus on her. It's been fabulous to be able to watch. And I mean, it's been happening regularly for, I don't even know how many days it's been going on. It's been really wonderful.
yeah, and this is who we are. We just have to remember, and that's the more we opening up to this remembrance and this light, what we are, it's just take over so much. It's for me also.
It's amazing.
When you're thinking about this really high vibrational beings, our human eye can't see them, and it's happening with our bodies also right now, that just this our human perception. I don't know how to explain that better, but it's the same way.
Yeah.
We are more, our bodies not, or our holographic construction is not so dense anymore, and it starts to dissolve.
And there she goes.
Into the light.
Bye. See you soon.
I'm back again.
You're very cooperative. Yes, thank you, God. Amazing. Well, it's, you know, in the people that I've chatted with since the 3 of us chatted together a couple of weeks ago, you know, the theme continues to be that the veil is thinning. And in some of the conversations, you know, it's come up, these different realities like Shambhala and Avalon and, you know, Agartha, Hyperborea, Tirnanog in Ireland, you know, etc., Telos in Shasta, that these higher dimensional places and the beings. And so to me, this is all, you know, a sign of the times that all these things are connected, that we're getting much more, you know, connected to the higher vibrations, and you're demonstrating it beautifully. Amazing.
And yeah, we're not anymore here and there. We are connected with all these level layers, what we are. So it's just this light amplified so much that this it starts to be visible.
Right, right. And as you're saying, all of this is, you know, David, you were saying this earlier, and Viivika, you're demonstrating it with your experience here, your transparency, you know, in all ways, you know, that we don't have to strive and struggle you know, for the right or the opportunity, you know, we just need to be and open and surrender and trust and open our hearts. And, you know, then the universe can bring us back into that harmony and balance that it knows so well how to do.
Exactly. This our human part, just it's totally totally not totally dissolves, but just our higher levels take over. So
Yes.
we just have to remember it's so automatic. So I don't think about that. It just happens. We know how to do that, and it just happens.
Yes. Yes. Beautiful.
And Lou, I would say the veils are not thinning.
Okay.
I would say that the veils are completely gone.
Mm.
They do not exist. They do not exist except in the context of an individual that is choosing to maintain them. So when we take birth, the very first thing that happens for most people, not all, some stay awake through the birth process, is that we forget who we are.
Sure.
And there are veils that are placed around us.
Yeah.
Our own creation, and we forget who we are. We don't remember that we are connected everywhere all the time. We still are. We just can't perceive it with our consciousness.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the veils completely gone. And now it is up to each individual to raise their frequency through love, through loving themselves completely and unconditionally, and be able to perceive the wider universe and beyond that we are all connected to all the time. Mm-hmm. So all of the places that you mentioned and more, they're all right here. They haven't gone anywhere. They're all in this space. They are in their own frequencies. And in order to perceive them, all that's necessary is a shift in frequencies. So the energy of Avalon is really present right now. Really present right now. In fact, well, not my place to say, but there are the memories of where we've been, the memories of places that we have lived in during specific timelines, where we left codes in the ground, where we left keys in the ground, and put those similar keys into our DNA. And that sometimes returning to those sacred places, just walking on the ground, the keys that we put in our DNA, they go into the ground and it releases what we left there. What we left there as a gift for ourselves to return to us in this moment, this time. That happened dramatically to me in Africa in 2018. And it's happening to many, 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 many people. And it's not only retrieving what we left for ourselves in those time frames, but it's bringing something new to also leave.
And this happened, I mean, last time when I went to Egypt also, that it was huge opening, and I was again initiated, and I start to remember how to breathe through our higher heart, which is connection with Divine Mother Heart, and how to become this heart of all creation, how to open up this connection, and it's amazing what we're becoming and what we start to remember. We all.
Beautiful. Yeah, I was going to ask you about Egypt, Viivika, and maybe there'll be a time when you know, we might talk more about that, but anything, you know, you've both been to these powerful places. David, you mentioned, you know, Kenya, I think it was, and, you know, life-changing awakening experiences. And, you know, it just feels like the switches have all gotten turned on around the world now. And, you know, you've both, and I feel like I have, and others have been, you know, guided through our lives to prepare for some great event. And, you know, as I say, there's no doubt in my mind, this is it. We're on the eve of this huge awakening that humanity will look back on and realize we're living in the after of this event, however it unfolds. But again, it's just such a joy, you know, to hear your experiences and for you to share, you know, your own journey that all of us are taking in a more conscious way right now. We're all going through a spiritual initiation, you know, I think the whole world. And you know, to the degree that we've all learned from our own experiences and our other teachers and friends, you know, we have a context to offer people who, I think, you know, a lot of people are going to be quite confused or lost or, you know, overwhelmed. We'll see. But we're clearly preparing for some huge event, the like of which we've never had before. And it's very exciting.
And this is why we stay in our hearts. This is why I've shared classes for as long as I have. And this is why Viivika and I also share classes, is to be of a service to everyone. Imagine your next door neighbor who has gone to work every day for 40 years at some job, whatever it is, suddenly beginning to soften and start to remember who they are. That can be a really disconcerting experience if you don't have a context for it. And at the same time, there's lots of people that I know of that would not understand a thing that we're talking about because they don't have the language, and yet they are awake. They know who they are. They've remembered, but they've not come to it through a spiritual path. They've just remembered. So
yeah,
there's always a lot of compassion that flows through everybody that has an inkling of awareness of what's going on, that for those that are beginning to remember, that there be as much ease and grace as possible for them, so that the path to that remembering doesn't have to be difficult. It doesn't have to be so overwhelmingly complex that it blows their life up. And yet we all know it's going to blow their life up. That's part of the process.
Usually, yeah. Yeah, beautiful. Well, would you like to talk about the other two classes that you mentioned earlier as well, David?
Absolutely.
Yeah, wonderful.
Would you like to share the next class, Viivika?
Maybe it's today easier for you. I just need to stillness, the emptiness. Struggling with words today.
This is my dearest friend Viivika, who is fading into light and back, and whose brain is somewhat empty of thoughts right now. So, and that's about the highest compliment that I think I can pay her.
Full of love, no doubt.
So on Sunday the 14th, for a while, we don't know how long it's going to last, but for a while, on the second Sunday of the month, we're offering a free class for everybody. It's generically called transformational alchemy. And each time that we offer it, it's going to be about something on the healing, aligning journey that we all go through. So I don't care for the word healing. I really don't. I never have. And that's mostly because all of us are whole already. You've heard me use the expression, no matter how broken you think you are, you're not. That brokenness is a complete and total illusion. And behind it, you and everyone else is already whole. So it's not really possible nor necessary to fix anybody. We can't, I think it's impossible to fix people. Nonetheless, we are going to offer in this particular time, loving ourselves back into unity. And it's really not back into unity. It's just loving ourselves into remembering we've always been in that union, in that unity. We've just forgotten it. And again, that clasp comes about through what happens between Viivika and myself when we're together. That there is this large field of grace that forms around us. Just feeling her, even sitting next to me in these little window boxes, just feeling her, I can feel that field of grace, how it's formed around us. And that it's not only present, it's really palpable. I know that you can feel it, Lou. And I also can promise you that the people that will listen to this video, they'll be able to feel it too.
Absolutely.
And
It's when many people had described this near-death experience, that they felt this immense love. And this is what's happening when we just letting go and we very first time feel this grace. And in one moment we just realize that we are that grace, and the same what experiencing these people who had this I'm struggling with words today.
You're okay.
Who had this near-death experience. They just let go of everything. It's personal self just disappearing, and you experience yourself as love.
Yes.
You start to remember. And this is happening in classes also. So they start to remember. We are remembering already with David.
Yeah.
A little bit. But it's, before we met with David, we also had this amazing experiences, this bliss states, but we really didn't know what mean to be this divine love. But now when we are working together, or we are together, we little bit have this knowingness already.
Yeah, I mean, this is the paradigm shift that you're coming together, and your oneness, being two souls, one soul of two people. All of this is so amazing.
Yeah, and why I said a little bit, because it's expanding every day. Every day when we meet again in Zoom, it's wow. Wow. We didn't felt it before.
Well, this is what love is. You know, I said this to David earlier before you even came on, Viivika. This is what love is it just makes, you know, it just keeps showing us there are no limits, you know, and there's no end to it. And the depth just goes on and on. And you think, how much can I handle? How much can I absorb? David, yeah, go ahead.
And by the way, just as a sidebar, I'm currently on a campaign to remove the words near-death experience from our vocabulary and change that to a near-life experience.
Good luck with that.
The human race has such a deep subconscious fear of dying, of death and dying, that's the only way that they know how to describe it is that I'm having a death experience, and then I came back to life.
Yeah, yeah.
No, you had a moment where you began to step into what life really is, and then you came back into the body.
Yeah.
And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. We are embodying everything. That's what ascension is embodying.
Yes.
So that's just my current campaign.
Lovely, my friend. Yeah. I mean, I think, yeah, go on.
Well, this is true, because then we start to remember that our main purpose is to be this embodiment of love.
Yes. 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 It's the opportunity of many lifetimes, what we're stepping into now. It's very exciting. Beautiful. Was there one other class, David?
Yes. So on May 5th, Viivika and I are going to offer a class on abundance. And this is something that is really, really, really up for a lot of light workers. And I do mean a lot of light workers. They struggle at one level with abundance. They struggle with receiving. And so the class is going to be living an abundantly fulfilled life and thriving. And I do mean thriving in all of your life. And when you remember that you are source, when you remember that you are the same energy, the same love, the same force that creates worlds, that creates planets, that creates solar systems, galaxies and universes. Why are you poor? Why are you poor? You are a master creator. Everyone is a master creator. So this will be a class about removing all, and I stress the words all and really emphasize all of the impediments that are inside of us, whatever it is, to living a fulfilling and abundant, really fantastic, juicy life, the life that you really want to live, the life that makes you just like walk down the street and want to skip a couple of times just because you feel wonderful. I mean, abundant. Why would we ever want to settle for a life that is less than the fullness that we know it is? And so we're going to do a practice to remove every single thing inside of us, not just in our physical, emotional, mental, or spiritual bodies, but in all of our incarnations, because they're all present at the same time.
Right.
To remove anything that is a program, a conditioning, a trauma, that it's better to give than receive, rather than understanding that receiving is giving and giving is receiving. We're not talking about hoarding the abundance that comes in. We're talking about being so abundant that we can abundantly share everything and be able to pull everything out of all of us. Any place that we believe in lack or less than or unworthiness, it doesn't matter what it is. Pull it all, every single last little tiny bit of it.
Fantastic.
And we fulfill these places. Of course, with divine love.
There you go.
And what this abundance is also expression of divine love. And abundance not only about money or financial things. It's everything.
Self-love, freedom.
Yeah, deep fulfillment, and it's always divine love. So we will fulfill all these places with our very essence, with grace, with divine love.
And
I'll be there for that one. Yes.
For God's sakes, let go of all of your hang-ups around money. Jeez. Just get over it. Just get over it. Allow yourself to receive everything. If you want to buy a house, buy a house. If you want to buy a new car, buy a new car. Whatever it is. If you want to take a vacation of a lifetime, take the vacation. Not only take the vacation, get over your hang-ups. Fly there first class. Be comfortable. Live a life that knows that the well that is in your heart, that fills with abundance, it doesn't matter how much you remove from that well, it always replenishes itself. There will always be more than you can give away. We don't hoard this. We don't hoard our light. We don't hoard our love. We don't hoard our caringness. We don't hoard anything. Having huge amounts of money is an opportunity to be able to share, not hoard. Money is not meant to be hoarded. Money is an energy flow that flows through us. And the more you hoard it, it's like damming a river. And it just backs it up behind you. And you may increase your personal wealth, but it's not what money's for. Money flows through us, and it goes where it wishes. And the more that we understand that giving is receiving, the more that we receive, the more we share, the more we have, the more we share. We sit right in the middle of that flow. And that flow is always, it's always grace. It's always divine love.
Okay.
And it will change also our heart magnetic. So it's heart centered, become more magnetic. So it just grow with similar energy. It's
beautiful.
And look how she fades in and out and back in while she speaks this.
It just amplifies this heart field, and it starts to happen.
Yes, love is magic, and you're demonstrating your magic right there, Viivika and David, both of you.
Just when we're living through our heart, when we're speaking through our heart, when we're breathing through our heart, it starts to happen.
Yes.
We all is magic. We all.
Very good. Very good. Well, will we leave it there for the moment? Can I ask if you'd both like to just put a little blessing here at the end of our transmission for everyone, for your great work, and to connect with you again soon?
Okay.
Blessings, dear friends. I don't know how to say this properly, because when I say we, I mean her and I as one being. Nonetheless, we love you immensely with all of our heart.
Istata karana sorona heta kotume ketewa hata ketatana ke susume ketewa hatana keteta. Itsana katatawa eshiwa sana katukumehi eshiwa sana ketataya maha.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you, my friends. Perfect. We'll leave it there for the moment, and we'll connect real soon. And thank you again, David and Viivika, for all the work that you're doing for yourselves, ourselves, and the world. Grateful.
Thank you, Lou. And one small last thing, you can register for any of the classes at our website, theedentemplate.com.
Perfect. Perfect. Brilliant. Okay, my friends, all my love. We'll talk again soon, and I'll see you Sunday. God bless you.
So much, Lou. Many blessings.
Okay.
Many blessings to all of you. We love you.
Peace.